Good morning, everybody. My name is Karen, and this is my Flosstube channel about cross stitch. My channel name is KBH Stitches, and you can also find me on Instagram as KBH Stitches. This is my 25th Flosstube, and it is the 8th of January, 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope that you had wonderful holidays and and have had a good start to the New Year's. Everything went sideways here. So we're just all trying to still get our feet back under us and proceed into 2025 with some sort of hope of better things to come. First of all, I wanted to say thank you for coming back. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate all of that. It has made me feel so much more connected to this whole community. And December was amazing with all the Vlogmas videos and all the whip parades now. I've just been watching. I feel like I haven't done anything but watch Flosstube, but also at the same time, I do want to apologize. I've been watching a lot of it on my television just because it's simpler. And I have a whole thing in my notes of comments that I have made for people that I need to go post onto your videos. So it's coming in a little late. We were doing what we could. My son went down with influenza the Saturday before Christmas, and then we had to cancel all of our Christmas Eve plans, and then that was good because my husband went down with it on Christmas Eve. And so Christmas was kind of odd. My son was feeling a little better, so he would open a present here and there. But we canceled the dinner and we canceled everything. And it just took us a while to get everybody healthy again. And then they all went back to work and school yesterday. Just one kind of offshoot. We saw the eye doctor on Monday, and things are not good for my kiddo. And he's developed a cataract in that left eye. So now we're trying to get into another doctor for a different type of eye surgery. Meanwhile, his Coats disease is raging underneath. And so it just wasn't the start we were hoping for, but we'll just keep soldiering on. So yeah, I'm terrible about putting too much expectation on wanting Christmas to be perfect for everyone. And it just didn't turn out. And that's okay. It didn't. But you're going to see that I was not terribly productive. Even though I didn't have much else to do but stitch, I just kind of watched Flosstube and zoned. So, God, I'm sorry. I should just start this over, but I'm not going to. We're just going to soldier on. One thing I did want to mention, again, all the whip parades, amazing. I am not doing the whip parade. It's just, I am going into 2025 with 108 whips. And you have seen many of them throughout this year. And I'm going to continue to have my son pick my remaining whip bags for the rest of the year. So maybe next year I'll be able to kind of mentally put that all together. But I just cleaned up the mess that the pick-a-whips all year had made. And I just finally kind of got everything settled for the new year, which feels really good. So maybe next year, but until then, there are many to watch. And I just have my regular kind of Flosstube going. Also, Cross Stitch the Globe, they, happy birthday, Allison. And they posted a video about cross stitch trends, like their ideas of what might be trending this year in cross stitch. And I found it just fascinating. That is so cool. I hope that we start having like conversations like that. Like I love seeing all this stuff and here's my stuff and I bought this stuff and stuff. But that was a very cool conversation. And it made me really excited to see like what could be the, how will things change? How will things repeat? All of that. I love that. So anyway, if you have a minute, go over there, watch that video. They have great videos. Just watch them all. Anyway, I'm going to start this video with a previous finish, which I very rarely do. But as I said, I was putting all the mess away from the Pick-It and Whippets, and I was also cleaning out. Kind of more of a shift around than a clean out, but I found this cross-stitch piece that I did, must have been 2006. Yeah, must have been 2006. Basically what happened, we lived in Sparks, and I was teaching high school, and my husband got a job in Oregon. And so in January of that year, he moved to Oregon, and I wasn't going to leave my kids. And so I stayed here with the dog and the cat and me, and for 6 months. And I found this, must have been at Borders. God, I love that store. Borders bookstore. I miss you. And it was this calendar. It's a monthly calendar. Oh, that was a chart. And I did look online. There are still a few copies of this year left. It looks like they were going to make another year, but it didn't print. I don't know. It was a brilliant idea. But I bought it at Borders, and basically what I would do is at night, I had one of these months like by my bedside, and I would watch Keeping Up Appearances. It's a British show. But anyway, the great thing about the DVD set of Keeping Up Appearances is when it finishes playing, it doesn't like go to the menu and play music. It goes black. And so I would stitch on these and watch Keeping Up Appearances until I fell asleep. And I found this, and it's so cute, and I really wish they were still made. It's like I said, it was a monthly calendar. You got a chart, and you got the 18 count Ada. Am I positive? 18 count Ada. So you had to buy the floss, and there's buttons in these pictures. I don't have the buttons, but it was created by Cam Snyder and Barbara Stark, who I believe are the designers of You and I. Is that right? You and I, like EWE and EYE cross stitch. I looked up some of their designs, and it looks very similar. But anyway, you got the monthly charts, but they also came, here, hold please. I have January in its frame. It also came with this background thing. So I'm going to show you the other ones without the frame, but this is just a frame that I bought. But so this is 18 count Ada. I stitched all this, but then it came with these cute little frames, and you just taped it onto that. So anyway, so this is January's. Ooh, don't break, don't break, don't break. This is February. I love it. It's like, I mean, they're full coverage little ditties, and then they have specialty stitches. Well, this one doesn't. I'll show you one that does. That was silly. I love this. This is March, and this is how I'm positive that that's who the designer is. But there's that. See, these have, what are those? Smyrna crosses, something like that. But I love these little things that it came with. This is April, and you have some satin stitch in there. May. Again, a cute little. This is June. Ooh, that one's wrinkly. Oh, and I can kind of show you on the back. So see, this was like the calendar. It was like perforated, and you just pulled that out. This is July, and they actually have a pattern that looks very similar to this. This is August. I love this. Look at that bee skep with the satin stitch. Oh, so pretty. September. There's French knots. I am terrible at French knots. I didn't do them as French knots. I did them as X's. Oh, that's cute. Again, October, you have a bunch of satin stitch. Look at that. They also have a pattern that's very close to this one, I think. And I love this background. November, I might stitch him again just as. And look at Santa. I love that one. That satin stitch in his hat. That fun border. Look at that. I love that one. So like I said, so these now I have out. I'm so glad I have them out because I'll just interchange them in that frame once a month. And then also, so I still have all the charts. And like I said, let me find one that's... Some of them have buttons, like this one has a little button on that heart. I didn't have the buttons. I don't know if you could have bought those somewhere. The bird has those stars on him. Look at that. The bee scap has these bees. The pumpkin has a leaf. And then Santa has little like... So obviously I could probably find, so I could stitch all this again and find comparable beads. But anyway, that was so fun. And I wish they still made stuff like this. I don't know if they do, but that was such a fun find. So that is my previous finish. And then I only have one FFO. Like I said, productivity was down. But this is part of the Boxwood Manor sewing book and thread keep, I guess, from Stacy Nash. Did it just get dark in here? No. My friend Barb sent this to me, and I was able to finish the pear portion, and I just think it's beautiful. I put these little buttons on here. I just think it's beautiful. And I used this backing fabric. My mother-in-law gifted that to me. She gifted me the whole line. There's like strawberries and apples. Anyway, so I'm really excited. I feel like this is actually absolutely like Christmas, like winter, but also Christmas, which is good. I put my Christmas stuff away and took out my winter stuff, and it is slim. So this is going to work perfectly. And then I was able to, I have a big enough piece left that I have just this one all kitted up now. I still have the floss with it, and I had a big enough pattern. So this is going into my kitted things, and this is going downstairs to be displayed. All right, so those were my, that's my only fully finish. I have like one other little finish. It just wasn't very productive, and I'm gonna stop. Okay, so now on to whips. As always, I start with my 27.5. I work on this 27 minutes, 5 days a week, but honestly, the work has been slim. But we are filling in this squirrel, and the colors are so similar, and yet they're different, and it's a little fiddly. So, but he's super cute. So I'm hoping to get back in the swing of things with this one. It was just kind of hard. I have this attached to my Lowry stand just all the time, and I have to like drag it out and then put it back, and it was just, that was a lot with everybody in the house and everything. All right, then I go into my 2 threads a day, and my first 2 threads a day was also my New Year, New Start. So this is called Autumn Quilt by Primrose Cottage. I feel like it's really dark in here. Oh, And what I am doing is I am taking just this portion of it. I cut it down and I'm doing basically a monthly quilt. I'm changing the colors to do a monthly quilt. So for January, I've picked DMC 729 and 932. And this, oops, that is where I am. So I have, oops, that little rest of that blue to finish, and then this blue and this blue. And this amazing needle minder was sent to me for Christmas by the lovely Trisha. And I died. I screamed at the mailbox. And so I was going to do these just monthly, but now I have so many monthly things, I'm just going to keep going. It's a little, they're a little more boring than I was hoping. So I'm just going to keep going. So my little Scotty guy is going to stay with me all year long. So next I'm going to do like red and pink for February. And then March will be 2 different greens. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, this is 36 count cream antique white. So anyway, so that was my new year, new start, and it's just going to continue to be a 2 threads a day, and I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to stop every month. On to my every month, and this is part of the monthly things. I pick a Mill Hill. I have my son pick one of my Mill Hill kits, and I do it till it's done. So last month he picked the pizza, and this one was fun. It was easy. It was fast and easy. So that was my December. Now I need to add it to the pile of Mill Hills to finish. I have 7 waiting to be finished. I should just do it, I know. And then he went ahead and picked for January. I don't know where I got this. I think a friend gave it to me. But it's Owlette Kiwi. And here is my start on that. And something came up with this one. So, as I said, I've done 7 of these, and I had noticed that all of the bead symbols were circular, which really helped me to read the pattern better and kind of ignore things. This one is not that way. I came up to the first symbol, I don't know what I was trying to do. A diamond maybe, or an X, and it's a bead. So, I guess I lied. So don't take my word for it. Just read your patterns. Anyway, oh Lord, that was a disaster. Okay. This is my other 2 threads a day bag. I love this. This came from Vintage Owl Lady on Etsy. And okay, so the only one that I pulled over, okay, there's something in here I have to find before I get too far. Oh, I floss everywhere. There it is. Okay, the only one that I pulled over from December that you've seen before is reindeer oat seeds, sorry. And by the way, guys, you know how I've searched through the pictures? I made an album just for this Flosstube. I don't know why it took me a year to figure that out, but we are here. So anyway, I'm almost done. I just have some red to fill in here, red down here, and then put their antlers on. And the reason I kept this one out is I am rotating I have one more of these seed packs, and I have 2 more berry bowls that I'm taking out of that big sampler. So I've just been rotating those. So even though Christmas is over, this one is going to keep going so that I can get them all finished. All right. And then Jacinta, Crafting on the Plains, started a, God, I flossed everywhere, started a Sal, Year of Freebies Sal. And so every month I'm going to pick a freebie and stitch that. And so this month I had picked from the Blue Flower, her Vacation Squirrel. Ooh, gosh. Sorry, this is my first time using this board. I think the lighting is terrible. And I finished it. Hold on. And I finished. So cute. And because this one just took a few days, I went ahead and I also pulled up, this is also from the Blue Flower. This is her squirrel with a heart. And I just flipped my fabric over and I'm starting him. And hopefully I'll have him done by the end of the week. So again, Jacinta, of Crafting on the Plains. The hashtag is jeez, my brain just bloop. Year of Freebies Sal. If you ever need, go to the Instagram handle Cross Stitch Calendar. And they're all there. But anyway, I'm going to pick a monthly freebie and do that. So this one turned into 2, but that's okay. If you need advice for freebies, go to, again, Cross Stitch the Globe. They have Christmas freebie video, autumn, Halloween, and spring, I believe. So, and by the way, so Blue Flower, we have this squirrel, we have the vacation squirrel, and then she also has a hiking squirrel. That's going to come up later for me. Okay, so those are 2 of the 2 threads today. And then this last one I started yesterday, and this is a freebie, but it isn't. It is called Winter Wonderland by Primrose Cottage. And the only way to get their freebies is to be signed up for their newsletter. The freebies come out the first something of the month. I don't remember what it is. Go to their website and read about it and sign up for the newsletter. You cannot get anything that's already come out. Don't ask them. They're being very generous. So anyway, this one came out and I picked up a piece of scrap for my box. I don't know what it is. I thought it was 36 count, but it's definitely 40. And I'm stitching it all with the DMCs. And so I just got that little tree going. So it's going to be super tiny. It'll go down to like there. And, but like I said, I took out my winter stuff and I was like, oh, we need a little help in here. So, these are the DMCs for that. Just 5 colors. Oh, there's 6. There's also white. I just don't have it in here. So if you are interested in their freebies, sign up for their newsletter. You'll start getting them from now on. But this freebie from this month, I believe will go on sale next month. So you just have to you just sign up for a newsletter. It's not difficult. All right. Those were my 2 threads a day. And the one thing that I am thinking of doing for 2 threads a day, I need some sort of change up. So we were at Barnes & Noble and I saw this die. And I thought, well, maybe instead of 2 threads a day, I'll roll this die and do however many minutes. Almost lost it. So, like if I rolled it right now, it would be 12 minutes on Winter Wonderland. So, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. We'll see if I try it. I just am looking for kind of different ways to get inspired, to get things done. All right. Before I go into my whip bags, this was a 2 threads a day. Yikes. This was a 2 threads a day that I am putting in to be a Christmas whip. But I just wanted to show you. This is Christmas Pin Keep Pillow by Kathy Barrick. And I had started it and I was a little concerned about the colors. Basically, I had used this red and green. And they just weren't working. And so I changed to the called for red and green, and you can see they're much more prim. And I'm very happy with the results. So I had to pull out everything and start over. So I didn't get as far, obviously, as I would want, but I really like how this looks. So that one for now is just turning into a Christmas whip. I don't know what it is about Christmas stitching. When I want to do it, I want to do it. But when I am done, I am done. So that's, that one is done for now. I don't know why this bag is in here. I do know why this bag is in here. This, jeez, you guys. This, I forgot. I pulled this out before Christmas. I got in the Christmas mood and it was a finish and I totally spaced it out. So this is Plum Street Samplers Cardinal Kin, one of the animal stacks, another of the animal stacks. I have a whole bag of animal stacks in here, so I'm just going to put that floss back in there in case it works for something else. But I got a finish on that. It's so pretty. And it was so fun. I was in this bird when I started, and I did 2 threads a day, and what I did was I finished all these fiddly leaves and stuff, and then just did the birds, and wow. It was so fun. There's a little tuft. So yeah, so this one, I have the raccoons on it and I have spaces for 2 more. So I'll probably stitch the other 2 before I fully finish it. It's just easier for me to stitch on a full piece of fabric than cut it all up. So that's why I had that out here. That's exciting. Didn't even realize. And then I didn't get as far on this as I would have liked, but this is my lovely birthday gift from Alex and Sally, Christmas Mini Moon. This got me in the Christmas spirit. And bloop, bloop. And so I finished this whole tree and started on the house. So for right now, this is going away, but you're going to see that I have big plans. Because I just can't, I don't know, I can't not. Anywho. All right. So on to my weekly whip bag. So I still have my son picks a whip bag for me every week, and we're still doing that. So this was, I showed you this last time. This was bag 49. I did not touch it. And I'm going to tell you what I did with things that I didn't touch in a minute. Oh God, I have stuff everywhere. So I didn't touch that one. The next week, this is a bag from the dollar spot at Target. And, ooh, is this my first failure of my, yeah. pictures, but I don't. Oh, goodness. I'm just going to tell you, it's from Wild Violet Cross Stitch, and it is like a Christmas stamp. This is done on, this is 16 count black Ada. And it is Rudolph, and he's wearing like a jetpack. He's in space, and he's wearing like a jetpack. So I finished like the body and this part, and I finished border down to here, and I'm bringing the border down. So this was the week of Christmas, and I really thought I would get a lot of stuff done, but it just really... My kid was really, really sick for 3 days, and I had probably a trauma response to that, which I don't think is probably abnormal after what we went through 2 years ago, basically, at the same time. So, anyway, I'm not gonna... Oh, boy. Why does everything have to fall? Why can't y'all just slide nicely? So, anyway, this was bag 52. Love this. This is that same fabric line that my pears came from. Oops. And this, we have a teaching moment with this one too. This is the blue flower. I had a real blue flower thing going on. And this is Tudor Ermine. I love that. Look at that mushroom. Sorry, we're not. Look at that mushroom. And I am doing this with all the called for DMCs. Very pretty. Sorry, I haven't been really showing you my floss and everything. And this is being stitched on 40 count summer khaki. I usually do 36, but this one is 40. And this does not look necessarily like good progress, but I had this branch basically, and I did all these little fill-in bits, which are pretty fiddly. They look great, but this is our teaching moment. So I don't know, well, can I figure it out? Anyway, that doesn't matter. A while ago, this is January 5th, 2023. Farm Girl Dry Goods put up this post on her Instagram talking about how when you're stitching on linen, and probably even weave, I know I do it with my Osnaburg, so I'm thinking even weave too, that it does actually matter which thread you start on. And so she put up this picture. And so you want to make sure that your needle goes here and that the first line you cross is an overlay. Does that make sense? So I hope you can see that. Maybe draw it, write it down, or look back. I'm assuming this is still there. I took a screenshot of it on January 5th, 2023. So if you want to look back and do that. But I have noticed in the last few times of doing my whips, like this is started on the wrong thread. And I can tell in my stitching. It just doesn't quite go right. I had too much done. I was not picking out on 40 count. I probably should have. And the other place I noticed it was on my ocean stocking, which for sure I'm not picking out. But it's just, there's something about how your needle goes to that next, I don't know. I don't know if it's in my brain or whatever, but what I have noticed is that if I have a piece that I'm like, excuse me, my stitches aren't laying right or just doesn't feel right, I tend to look back and I'm like, I started it on the wrong thread. Do I think anybody would ever know? Do I think it ruins your project? Absolutely not. But I have started as a habit now, making sure that my needle starts with a thread that's going over. It starts up against a thread that's going over. And I really do think it has helped. I could be crazy. But it's also Farm Girl Dry Goods, so I don't think so. So anyway, that's my lesson of the day. Try it. Tell me if you think that that's true or not. I don't know. But anyway, that was I have noticed in my whips that it feels very, it feels true to course. All right, and then this is bag 53. So this is the first bag of the 2025 year. This is a large size Quilting with Nico. Look how cute. Hi, Black Cat. Look, she puts the best. That orange just kills me. I love orange. So anyway, today's Wednesday. I haven't even gotten to this yet. So things are just a little off kilter around here. All right, so this is Plum Street Samplers Ghoul Tide Welcome. Yeah. Very big. And this is being stitched on, hold please. I'm doing it with all the called for DMCs. And this is a cool fabric, and I never remember what it's called. Oh, are you not in here? Oh, here it is. It is 36 count Alien from the Moon. I bought it from Kitten Stitcher. I'm not exactly sure if she dyed this. Do you see that big splotch in there? Oh. It's either dyed by her or XJU Design, but I think it's her because it's written in her handwriting. Anyway, I love that piece of fabric, and it's super soft. Like, super duper. Anyway, this is where I am, which is a lot of stitching, but not very far in the piece. Let's see. I'm right here. It is going to take up this whole piece of fabric. So anyway, I'm halfway done this pumpkin is where I am. I'm stitching it with DMC. So this was the Pick It and Whip It bag for this week. It's Wednesday. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I really, really am going to try to get to it some. Like I said, we took Monday off for the eye doctor. So my husband and kid just went back to work yesterday. I'm just waiting for the illnesses to descend, but hopefully we'll get through it. All right. So before we get into my stash and my plans, I did want to mention this. So I had a friend on on Instagram who said I had 71 finishes this year. And I was like, that is so amazing. That is a huge amount of finishes. And she was like, you have to have somewhere near the same. And so I actually went back. I only keep track. I have like a spreadsheet. And when I talk about my whip number, that's those. And those are really only big projects. I don't count the freebies I do or the mill hills I do. A lot of the 2 threads a day I don't count. So I went back through my Instagram and I had 72 finishes. Now granted, like one of those was the 12 monthly minis, and I stitched those all on one piece of fabric. So I probably would have called that one whip, but it was 12 finishes because I made 12 pillows. Or like the seasons, I stitched that all as one, but it was 4 pillows. So I kind of did that, but I thought, man, I need to start writing all this down because that was a lot. And if I really looked at like how many big whips did I finish off of my whip list, it was probably only like 7. So anyway, the point being, I got a notebook out and I'm just going to write down literally every finish, every freebie, every mill hill, everything. Not fully finished, just finished stitching it, done stitching it. And we're going to see what I get as a number this year. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. I got a little haul. I got a little Stitchy kindness and I got a little haul. So, first, as I said, the lovely Trisha sent me that Scotty needle minder, and look at this beautiful card that she sent with it. Thank you so, so much. Oh, okay. Thank you so, so much. I so appreciate that. And I had a Stitchy friend brought me this beautiful silk for my birthday. Look how pretty that is. It is Winter Sky by Silken Colors. And it's just gorgeous. I have never used Silken Colors, but it's like this beautiful blue and pink and kind of makes a purple. So thank you. And then I received a package in the mail. Look how cute this mailer is. This was super, super sweet. I got a lovely, lovely card. Isn't that cool? With a lovely note. Thank you. And she sent me these perfect pieces. These are both 40 count. Cream linen and cafe au lait. But they're so pretty and they're perfect for my little freebies. So thank you so much. I'll get using those right away. And then she also sent this cute little, it's a charm pack. And there are birds and fishes and all sorts of things. And I am going to, I think this color. So hold on, is there a way I can do this? There's birds and just patterns, and I love this. And these are perfect for finishing like smaller things. And I'm going to put this one on the back of my vacation squirrel. It's very like 1980s Miami Vice, and I love it. So I'm going to finish my squirrel with that one. And then it was so lovely. She said, this is what, I saw this and I bought it for you, thinking of your pretty bird, Sal. And look at it. It's a crown. Shoot. It is beautiful. So look at that. It's so cool. It's so cool. So this is going on to my, I have it right here actually. I'm starting my bird hopefully tomorrow. So this is going to be added to my scissors. So thank you so, so, so much. That was just so lovely of you and so generous. And to think of the fact that people are like thinking of me out in the world is just, God, it makes my heart sing. So thank you so, so much. All right. So then I got a little order from 123 Stitch. As I said, I started that mini moon, Christmas mini moon. So of course I had to get, this is just mini moon, but it's kind of the summer edition, as well as this new Salem mini moon. Look at the bubbles on that cauldron. So I got these and I just got a few of the flosses. They're going to go on that same piece of fabric because you know how I love a collection. I got to have them all. So those are going to go in there to be worked on as soon as Christmas fitting. So I'm not putting that away till Christmas. I'm just adding it to the whips. So hopefully that will come out and be finished and then I'll move on to the other ones. But I'm not keeping that as a strictly like Christmas sort of thing. And then I don't know why. I'm supposed to be finishing these. But it was a chicken. So it got me. And then as I said, Christmas didn't exactly go to plan. And I was having a little bit of a pity party. And I was like, this year has not been fun. And I have looked at this hoop for years and years and just thought, I don't deserve that. That's too much money. It is an expensive hoop. I'm not denying that. But I've I've coveted it for a while, so I just went ahead and ordered it. This is a Hardwick Manor. I guess I can just show it like this. A Hardwick Manor oval. It's 9x5, I believe. It's 9x5. It's beautifully made. These oval ones are more expensive. They're a hard shape to create. So I will put twill tape on this inside hoop. I got this yesterday, so I haven't even had a chance to use it. And I ordered this from Fat Quarter Shop, mostly because they package this came in a box. It was very well packaged and in a box. And a lot of people, when they send you hoops, just put them in like padded envelopes, which generally is fine, but the mail has been a little rough around here lately. So I did order this from Fat Quarter Shop. So it's beautiful and it's a treasure, and it was I could make an excuse, but there's no excuse. I didn't need it, I wanted it, and I bought it. All right, so on to, let me just make sure. Okay, so just again, this is just a reminder. Tomorrow I am going to be starting, this is Elizabeth's Bird by Mama Loves You GB. I have it in my amazing portfolio that the Hathaway Stitcher sent to me. And I'm starting this to support Sally and her hashtag Best of British Sal. So I plan to start that. You can start any design by any British designer from a British magazine, whatever the case may be. I hadn't gotten to it yet, so I'm going to start that tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have progress for you next time. So the other thing, these are just kind of my thoughts for going into 2025. Like I said, I still have 108 whips. I'm still going to continue with my whip bags. For some reason, it just seems that my son kind of left the older things till the end. So we'll see. I may call a few more projects. I did find a few things that aren't in a closet, and like, I just had to make a list and be like, pick one of these. But I have some things that are like on top of bookshelves and in different spots. And then I went ahead and I made a whip go board. I've done whip go, I don't know, for like 4 years. It doesn't really like control me. I just kind of do it. And so here's my whip go board. It's not fancy at all. But what I did was, as I was putting back the whip bags that had been picked, if I had a project I did not work on, a la my Christmas one, those got first spots. And what I did was I put those into a decision wheel. So I put things that did not get worked on. Second up were things that were second in a bag. Like, so if I had 2 projects in a bag and one project got worked on, but the other one didn't, those went on. Then I went through, and things that I just didn't get enough time on that I really wanted to, that just like were like, oh, I wish I'd worked on that a little bit more. Those went on. And then I had 3 spaces left. So I thought of that stash that I went through, and I was like, okay, what were 3 things that I was like, I want to start this? So those 3 things went on. So I put all of that onto a decision wheel and then just randomly spun the wheel, and that's how they got put onto here. Does that make any sense? It doesn't matter. Do your whip go. Your rules, your board, do whatever you want. So anyway, so my 2 picks for January, and my goal on these is just a day. So if there's a day that I'm like, I don't want to pull out all those 2 threads a day and whatever, I'm going to pick one of these. So the first one, this is So Much to Love bag. I love this bag. Oh, you're in a hoop. Okay. This is, ooh. Oh, guys. Yikes. This is ink circles. I thought it was 99 bottles, but it's just 99. And woo, I started this one a long time ago. I'm stitching it with all the called for DMCs. I just have them in here. This is a very fun piece though, I have to admit. Let me just put that back in. And I didn't realize I was in a hoop, but I'm in a hoop. So, I am on the 7th shelf. So there are 9 shelves total. And I am about halfway across, a little more than halfway across the 7th shelf. So this, again, all I'm calling for as far as whip go goes is 1 day. If I decide I want to add it to 2 threads a day, so be it. We'll just see what happens. I would love to get that one done. It's actually really fun to stitch. It's just, it's fiddly and there's little things, but it's really fun to stitch. So I wouldn't mind giving it a little extra time. And then my other whip go call, again, I don't know what numbers these were. That one was 11 and this one is 20. Oops, and I didn't take a picture. Okay, so my new plan is to have a photo album on the iPad that's all ready for the Flosstube. The good idea would be to actually put the pictures in it. We'll see if we get there. Anyway, this is a pear bag. Again, that same fabric line. This is from Quilting with Nico. Look at these cute. And this is from, what is this called? The Rose and Giant Pear by Hands Across the Sea. I do all my Hands Across the Sea with the DMCs because she does an amazing conversion. They're just spot on. Anyway, these are beautiful. Her conversions are spot on. She does magical things. And this one, so I just didn't get very much done. So I'm on the house and then there's a big rose over here. But I didn't want that one to sit again. So again, who knows? I'm going to give it its day. And then this is why I didn't want to put like heavy parameters on what I'm doing. Like maybe roll the dice and do a few extra minutes or just 1 day for whip go and then do what I want. I wanted to leave enough room for doing what I want, which lately is focusing on a finish, getting those finishes, fully finishing things. I really want to get some things on this wall. I have 3 things and 3 frames sitting over there. I just haven't done it. I really want to, that's just what has been giving me my drive lately. And I think that's what fell off in Christmas. Everything was so big and so insurmountable and I just gave up. So I want to give myself a few goals, like my 27.5 or 2 threads a day or a day on a whip go project. But I also want to leave myself some wiggle room that I don't get so crazy bogged down just trying to get everything done. So that is my other whip go call. And I'm going to try to do my best to, like every month, tell you what those calls are and stay a little more on top of it. Last year, I had a whip go board, but it was just random whips that I had put on there with the wheel. And they happened to come up with my whip poles. And so I didn't really talk about it because I wasn't, if my son picked that bag, I marked it off. I didn't do it according to the months. I just, whatever. And none of that matters. So anyway, all right. So I think that is everything. I am going to continue with my whips. I'm going to, try to kind of find my peace again. And I'm going to show you this bugger. Come here, buddy. Oops, that was bad. Come here. This is Fergus. Well, now you contents. This Fergus. You don't want to be here, do you? Say hi to the people. Say hi to the people. Okay. He does not like to be held. Anyway, happy 2025. Happy New Year. I hope that things are going well for you. I hope that as we go into this year, we just find our peace and solace in the ways that we can. So I'm not going to get into a whole thing here. I'm going to say thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comment below. I love the comments. I appreciate them. And it helps me come back here. So if you have something to say, as Sarah of Sarah's Stitchy Spot says, let's remember to not admire quietly. And yeah, thank you, Flosstube, and thank you, stitching community, and thank you, Zoom friends, and thank you for all the stuff. And anyway, if we get back here, we'll do it again. Bye.